have it admitted.
Sure.
In evidence. Thank you. And we Sakamara, we can just have it here, after which I will apply to have it admitted into evidence. Thank you. The voucher number PV 210985. Payment made to Kemo Bojan, being payment for the purchase of football field goal post with their nets for 4 fields within the municipality as requested attached. This amount is $235,800. Please have a look at this voucher. The request is attached. And also a list of itemized expenditure.
Thank you. Yes.
Do you recognize that voucher?
Not the voucher, but the request.
The request, right. All right. You approve the request?
Yeah.
And what was the request for? Do you mind reading the request?
The Youth Councillor to the Lord Mayor, request for goal posts and nets. I write the request for the purchase of goal posts and nets for Bakote, Talinding, Charles Jau, and Kotu Kware. Nets from number 1 spot of goal posts.
Right.
Right, but it doesn't say it's impressed. That's
Okay.
why when you say retire,
Right.
I don't understand.
Okay. So now, if it is not an imprest, now where would you classify this? What kind of payment is it?
Because the CEO should have executed a procurement process.
Right.
Which should not be an impress. That's why I'm asking. When you say retire,
Right.
it implies that it is an impress.
Okay. That's why I asked that. Let's say if it is not an imprest. Well, do you believe it's not an imprest?
In my opinion, I don't think it should be an impress.
And why is that?
Because it's a request for the purchase of items.
Okay. So if money is given to the councillor, what would be the legality of that?
So, lead counsel and Madam Chair, just for the record, I have looked at the questions being asked about legality, and also I have checked with legal counsel, and I am not a competent authority to determine legality of matters. I think the competent authority is other bodies like the courts or committees, so it would be not appropriate for me to respond on legality of issues.
Okay, no problem. Let me rephrase. I think we can still get to the same thing. Now, on what basis is that payment being made? What is the justification of that payment in relation to the relevant financial tools that govern the council?
That should be the duty of the administration to ensure it goes through the proper procurement channels.
Okay. Now, the head of the council oversees the CEO, correct? Yes. The CEO is answerable to council.
To the council.
Yes, good. And if the CEO is answerable to council, the CEO should be able to justify payments that are made, correct?
The CEO, yes.
Good. And the justification is made to council, correct?
To the council, yes.
Yes. Was this justification made to council?
I don't believe this matter came to council.
Okay. Should the matter be, should it have been forwarded to council?
Given the amount, it doesn't have to come to council.
Okay. Now, you inform the commission that for payments made to councillors, they will be approved by the mayor, correct?
No. for activities that the councillors want to carry out
Yes.
and require resources of the council,
Right.
they need the endorsement of the mayor
Yes.
before it goes to the right authority.
Right. Now that's exactly what I'm saying. Now when you endorse, how did you think this payment would be classified?
I would expect it would go through the CEO who would conduct the procurement processes.
Yeah. So if the CEO did not conduct the procurement process and then give the councillor money directly, that would be unlawful?
Well, did the CEO give money to the councillor directly?
When payment says payee, you can read the voucher, the payee. I mean, these witnesses, they testified here.
Yeah, okay, I can see it.
Yeah, Mr. Bojang testified here.
Yeah.
Now, would that be also not in line? It would not be correct?
You can say it's an administrative lapse, yes.
And so it is a violation.
So with the issue of violations, like I said, Madam Chair, on the issues I discussed on violations and legality, I am not the competent authority to decide those matters. On violations, I think that goes through a process where violations are determined. The CEO is in charge of all procurement of the council, so I expect the procurement should be carried out by the CEO.
Good. And so since the CEO did not do that, and then the procurement regulations required that it be carried out by the CEO, and it did not do that, that's why the lapse is correct?
The lapse from where I see. Yes.
Good. And so that when you have a lapse, it means that the actions of the CEO were not correct.
That should be determined by a process.
So, Mr. Bensouda, you do not know whether something is wrong or right?
No, it's not for me to determine whether something is wrong or right. For example, you can murder somebody and the court can determine that you are innocent. Okay. So I think it should go through a right process regarding the circumstances of that disbursement to determine right or wrong.
Right.
But from where I sit, without any other information other than this, it does seem like an administrative lapse.
Okay. So when Senator Martins then made an endorsement and then sent it to the bank for the loans, was that wrong or right?
With all the information I got, with all the data I received, with her confession, that I came to that determination.
Why would you not wait for the court to determine that?
She made a confession. I did not determine. I took it through a process.
Right.
So I took it to the General Council, to the Establishment and Appointment Committee, who concluded on that.
Right.
But from where I sat, I did ask her. She confessed that yes, in fact, she did it knowingly and wrongfully. And that's when I called the bank to inform them that you may be walking into an issue. I think we are mixing oranges and apples. At the time,
I can see that's your favorite.
I called the bank to inform them they may be walking into a violation based on the confession of the CEO, but I as mayor did not determine legality or violations. That's why I moved it to the appropriate bodies. That's why we could not take action on the CEO in terms of firing. We moved that to the Local Government Service Commission and to the Court of Law and the IGP of Police.
No, wait a minute. You cannot appropriate and reprobate at the same time. You cannot decide that when the argument does not favor you, it is a legal matter. And so when every text in the law is clear, it has to be decided by the court. And nobody operates anything. And even council's meetings, every decision has to be decided by the courts. That's my analogy. What I'm saying is it would not make sense. So that when you now say that you call the bank based on the confession, then confession in itself cannot also be going by your analogy, can't be determined by you. The only courts have the right to say this is a confession.
I believe I've lost trace of the question.
The question is very simple. The question is, if Senator is said to have confessed that you were not in the position to make that determination that that was a confession.
I was not in the position
to make a determination that that was a confession, because it's a legal matter. You can ask your lawyers.
My understanding on confession is not about legality. It's when somebody admits fault while I am sitting and present.
Because are you the judge?
Like I said, my understanding of confession is not on law. My understanding on confession is when somebody decides to say whether they've done something or not.
Right.
If I send that confession in my layman terms to the court of law,
right.
the court of law presumes Senabu innocent
right.
until proven guilty.
Right.
So that's why I said I am not the competent authority, because you're asking a lot of questions about legality, violations. At first, I was responding. At second thought, I thought about it, and with legal advice, I agree with that legal advice. That's why I want to put on record, I am not the competent person to determine legality or violations. What I can say is this a fact? Yes. Is this not a fact? No, based on my knowledge of what has happened or what has not happened.
Mr. Bensouda, if the CEO did not follow procurement process, would that be right or wrong?
In what procurement process?
In any procurement process.
That's why I said I need to see the circumstances surrounding the whole matter. With the documents you have presented, based that a councillor has received money, I can agree, yes, based on my understanding of what I see, it is an administrative lapse. But in terms of the violations there, in terms of the illegality there, I am not the person to answer.
Now, Mr. Bensouda, you mandated by the position you hold as the head of council to be familiar with the financial manual?
Yes, I should know the
Good.
financial
Is the council itself supposed to be familiar with the financial manual?
Yes, the council should read the financial manual.
Good. So when you did not classify grants as income, is that addition to be taken by the courts as well, or you knew it was wrong?
Sorry, I don't catch your question.
You understand my question? Now, when you did not classify grants as being part of revenue, when the Act clearly states that grants and donations are part of council's revenue, you agree with me now, right? We have a common agreement on that.
At that point, I answered you. I said, yes, it is a lapse. You asked me whether it's right or wrong. I said, I cannot answer that.
So when
And the legality or violations, I cannot answer that.
No, that's okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
So when the law says on revenue and funds of council, that the revenue and funds of council includes all sums of money or funds accruing to a council, without prejudice to the generality of the subsection 1, the revenue and funds of council consists of the following. When it says money is driven from rates in
council. No, I'm answering your question. Right. Yeah. So, as a council or as a person who's not a legal practitioner,
right,
I will always need legal advice on law.
Right.
I am not a judge.
Right.
I am not at a court of law.
Right.
That's why I was trying to correct myself.
Right.
And correct my statement.
Right.
I cannot make judgments on legality or not. It would be wrong for me to do that. What I can say is whether facts are as I see them or they are not as I see them.
Good.
That's why I said yes. If this money is given to the councillors,
right,
as the facts present,
right,
I can say yes, it's a lapse based on my understanding of the process.
Right.
But can I jump to a conclusion and say it is an illegality?
Right.
That I cannot do because I am not the competent authority.
Right.
I don't understand the circumstances around the issue fully.
Right.
And it must go through due process.
Right.
So I'm just making that correction.
You remember I had said I had dropped the issue of whether it's lawful or whether it's illegal. You recall that. Now I have used the words that you are using. When I said lapse, when you said lapse, I'm now saying here that when you, the KMC, did not include the grants in relation to being part of revenues of council. Now, was there any part of the law that you did not understand, that you needed advice from? That's why you did not put it there? That it is not clear, the law, when it said that project funds and donations are part of revenue?
A lapse meaning it was not brought to our attention or we did not refer to it.
Okay.
If it was brought to our attention or referred to us or seen by a committee, a regulator or a competent authority, then we would correct it, and that's what we have done.
Right. So, is it anywhere in the law that this has to be brought to your attention? Or are you mandated to acquaint yourself with your regulations?
That's why when it is not done, it is a lapse.
Please answer the question. Is it a requirement? It's a question. Is it a requirement that it must be brought to your attention, or are you mandated by law, the office you occupy, to acquaint yourself with regulations?
Both.
Both. Good. Now, so where is it stated that it must be brought to your attention?
I think the laws that set up the National Audit Office,
right,
the laws that set up Internal Audit Unit,
right,
and the Ministry of Local Government,
right,
who must inspect the councils,
right,
and the minister calls to ensure the council is following regulations, policies, laws, etc.,
yes,
should invite the council to a lapse when they do see it.
That's not the issue. That's not the question.
What is the question?
The question what you are talking about is pointing out what you did not do, or what is at fault, what is faulty. I am saying acquainting yourself with the regulations. You are the head of council. The councillors are also the governing body of council, which is supposed to see the administration of council. Is it a requirement by law that when you assume office that you must be educated, that you must be guided by what the law is, or is it just a mandate that you must familiarize yourself with the regulations?
Both.
Both. So where is it stated that when you assume office, you have to be guided by as to what the law says? Can you point?
That's why I said the acts that set up the National Audit Office.
Can you show us where?
I can show you the Ministry of Local Government, Section 151.
Says what? You mean to say the Local Government Act?
Yeah.
Good.
Sorry, yes.
That's all right, I understand.
Yeah.
No, that's okay, I understand. Section?
Hold on, 1 second, sorry. Section 150.
150.
It states inspection and monitoring of local governments.
Yes.
The inspection of local governments by the ministry and other state organs authorized by law, yes, shall promote we should follow the law, but also have bodies to ensure we are complying with the law.
No, my question was not about compliance. My question was never about whether there is a body that is to inspect your work. You see, let's check and balance, right? So that every institution, every office, when you are employed, and I will show you proof, even you at KMC do that when you send your appointment letters. You demand that they acquaint themselves with the law, so that the inspection body will now see whether what you are doing is in line with what you are supposed to do. That's inspection. Nowhere from what you have read did it say that when you assume office, you should be guided by as to what should be done. He didn't say that.
Of course.
Read it again.
That's why the ministry is there.
No, read it
the
again.
Ministry is to guide. I've read it. I've understood it very well. The ministry is to guide the councils and ensure compliance with the law and policies of the land.
You would have been acting in your capacity, and then there would be periodic checks to see whether you are in compliance, Mr. Bensouda. This is basic.
It doesn't have to be periodic. It can be small.
Okay, we would not spar over this, and I will show you your set to file was employed, and I will show you the offer of appointment letter, and I will want you to read it, especially paragraph G.
Sure.
Now, you confirm that is the file of I set to file?
Yeah.
Good.
Sorry, yes.
We understand. Do you mind reading the offer of appointment?
I said to file Latrikunda Saviji, Latrikunda 7 June 2018, offer of appointment I am pleased to inform you that approval has been granted to offer you appointment as Public Affairs Manager with effect from 1st June 2018 on the following terms and conditions. You will be paid a salary on grade 10.1 of the integrated pay scale. You will also be paid all allowances attached to the position. You will be on probation.
That is the right thing to do, correct?
Correct.
Good. And so if your employer, which is KMC in this case, expects that the employee should acquaint itself, him or herself with regulations, is it just not expected that the employer would acquaint itself with regulations?
Both.
No, it's just one question. I didn't have two limbs in my question. It's just one limb.
You said if is the employee required to follow regulations, and is the employer required to ensure that the employee follows regulations?
Okay, I'm sorry, let me just take it back. If the employee is required to acquaint himself or herself with regulations, is it also not expected that the employer would have to acquaint itself with regulations?
Yeah.
Is it a yes?
Yes, I think everybody is required to follow regulations.
No, not follow, acquaint. Acquaint is the word. Yes, thank you. So we're on the same page. May I have the file? Now, we go back to the voucher. May I please have that voucher? What are the supporting documents attached to that voucher? Yeah.
Seems like
do we have, sorry,
bill of quantities.
All right. Are there outstanding, is there a file that, yes, please, may I have the files back? Now, please get this back to the mayor.
Yes.
Now, what are the supporting documents attached to that voucher?
What are
the supporting documents attached?
This seems like a schedule of quantities.
Seems like. Why would you say seems like?
Okay, there's a name and a telephone number.
But
it just seems like there's a schedule of amounts, quantities, unit prices, and total. So a name and a number.
Okay. Seems will suggest it is not, the information is not complete and you're not sure.
It seems like an estimate.
Which you're not sure of?
I'm not sure of
the estimate. Do we know where that seemingly bill of quantity is from?
It says that it's by George Thea. Telephone number. I don't think I should read the telephone number, but
okay, that's right. Is it written by pen or is it a type information?
By pen.
Do we know whether that document is from George?
I cannot verify that.
We can't verify. So that document would not be adequate, would it be, to give you enough information regarding what the supposed bill of quantity is, the authenticity of the bill of quantity?
Well, if it's a bill of quantity, I'm not an expert on bill.
Yes.
Where we have put experts in procurement there, so we would expect the CEO would exploit that expertise in matters of procurement.
Okay, and so the CEO, whatever he or she does, you would not know, even if you look at the face of the document, you would not know whether it's authentic or not.
It is not my role to know whether it's authentic.
What is your role? You're the head of council. You should be concerned about whatever goes to council.
That's why I have constituted a very competent contracts committee who should review this and advise.
Who should advise, and when they advise, are you bound to follow their advice?
That advice should come to the council. The council can deliberate and decide whether to take that advice or not.
So the council is not bound by the advice of the committees?
The council is not bound by any advice.
So it means the council can review the advice that come to council?
They can't review and debate. It's a democratic process.
And if you do not have the competence to know whether what they are advising you is genuine or not, how can you override the advice? Did you hear what I said?
Sorry, I don't know. The secretary gave me a document. I don't know what it's for.
All right, Mr. Kamala, please don't interrupt the witness. May I please see the document you gave the witness? I said that if the advice, if you are not bound by their advice, any committee, and you don't have the competence, I mean, council itself don't have the competence to decide whether a certain document. Now, the register is just saying that the document is from one of your, the team or the people regarding the document is supposed to be for you. I have instructed him to wait after the sessions, that they can give you documents so you can review them, if it is coming from them. So the documents we have are the ones that are admitted here, so that we can deal with that. So any other document, we can give you time so that you can familiarize yourself with those documents. So let's proceed. Now, the voucher that you have, let me just.
Please repeat the question so that we can have the answer from the witness.
Yes.
The earlier question you made.
Right. My earlier question is, if the advice of the committees are not binding, right? It means the council should be able to have a discussion to either accept or refuse to accept the recommendations, correct?
Yeah.
So if council doesn't have the competence to on the issue, what will council be deciding on?
The committee is a body of council
Right.
charged with the expertise to decipher these documents
Right.
and recommend to its council.
Right.
So it would recommend its council. Most times council, I said George Tier seems like a name of somebody.
Right.
Because George is a name.
Right.
Now I don't know what exactly I don't know exactly how you want me to answer.
No, we are talking about the authentication of that document, whether the document is valid or not, whether the information on that document. I had asked you, is there anything on that document that will give you enough information to suggest it is from an institution, is from a business, the name of the business, the letterhead, the stamp, the signature of the proprietor or the business owner? Is there anything of that sort?
The name is there and the telephone number is
The
there.
name of?
George Tier.
So now George Thea is a name.
Seems like a name.
Seems like a name. Okay, which business?
I don't know the business.
Okay, so what does George Thea do?
I don't know what. Well, it says workmanship. I don't know. Welding rod.
That's what
Thinner, cutting disc, black pipe, 6mm rod.
That's what George Thea does. How do you know that?
I don't know. What is the question there?
Well,
exactly?
that's what George Thea does in business?
I don't know George Tier. I don't know the invoice.
Right.
I don't know what George Tier does.
Right.
But it is not my expert area to know.
Right.
It is not my role to investigate what George Tier does.
Right.
That is the role of the procurement unit
Right.
and the contracts committee.
Good. Now it is brought to your attention. Is it, would you have an interest in knowing whether the dalasi that is from council that is paid to supposed George Thea, whether it is an authentic payment or not?
What I do know is the goal posts were built because I myself scored a goal in the one at buffer zone.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. The goal posts were all built.
Okay.
Because I visited most of the goal posts during
Right.
my mayoral tours.
How were they built?
I see it's just standard goal posts.
So, but you don't know how they were built.
I assume through this project.
Why would you assume? You
It's
see,
through the goal post project.
why?
I think
why,
this is the goal
Why-
post project.
Why?
You see.
Why would you assume? If it is to assume, anybody can be a
So
mayor.
it's the goal post and nets project.
If it's just to assume and to just not know and to just not be able to even have a suspicion that the document is not authentic, anybody can be a mayor if that's the case. The law requires amendment to section 15 that the mayor shall be the head of council and supervise the general administration of the area, including dealing with its rules, regulations, and taxes. Are you familiar with this?
Yes.
How would you supervise this if you do not know anything about procurement regulations?
That's why I said, I as mayor, my role is to set up the structures of council with
Right.
the expert areas.
Right.
A voucher cannot be presented to me
Right.
without understanding the circumstances,
Right.
without understanding exactly how the voucher emanated.
Right.
That's why I use words like
Right.
I presume, I
Right.
assume.
Right.
Now, if you want me to go on a fact-finding mission
Right.
about the generation of the voucher,
Right.
who it was, I can ask the CEO in the affirmative.
Right.
But I can tell you, I am a witness to seeing these goalposts in the municipality.
Right.
In fact, I scored a goal
Right.
at the buffer zone
Right.
when the goalposts were being presented
Right.
to the youths of the buffer zone. So I am aware there's a goalpost project, but I cannot use words in the assertive
Right.
without doing my own verifications. That would be irresponsible of me.
No, then ask for time to verify.
That's why I said I presume.
No, just ask for time to do verification, because what I ask you is within your mandate. Again, read the amendment of section 15. What I am asking you is within your mandate. I am not asking you any question that is outside your mandate. And so if you say, well, I do not have an idea about this, I need time to review it, we can definitely grant that. Can you please
I am
kindly read
very
section 15?
familiar with my mandate as the head of the council and supervise the general administration of the area, including dealing with its taxes, rules, regulations. I don't see how that has to do with me verifying a voucher presented to me and an invoice presented to me.
Okay.
It is not my department, and I have not consulted the people responsible.
Okay. Can you kindly read the amendment to section 15?
Where is that amendment? Section?
15, the amendment to section 15.
Okay. Amendment of section 15 of the Principal Act is amended in subsection 1 by substituting for paragraph B the following new paragraph. Be the head of the council and supervise the general administration of the area, including dealing with its rules, regulation, and taxes. I think I read that.
Good. So, your role is clear. So we are asking the right persons as the head of the council. You agree? Do you agree?
Say it again, sorry.
Yes,
I agree with that.
Good. And so that the law, all the regulations require that expenditures of council must be in compliance with regulations. That is the Finance and Audit Act, the Gambia Public Procurement Act. It has to be in accordance with regulations. Correct?
Yes.
Good. And so the procurement is mandatory. It's not discretionary. That following procurement process is mandatory by council, correct?
By the council.
Yes. Good. So that, number one, making payment to even Kemo Bojang of this amount to procure goalpost would not be in line with procurement requirement, correct?
Giving Kemo Bojang money
Yes.
will not be in line.
Yes.
Yes, I agreed to that before. I said yes, it would
Good.
be lapse.
Good. So that if it is a lapse, should Kemo Bojang pay the money back or not?
Yes, so this is another thing. I cannot make that determination without understanding the circumstances. If at all these goalposts were built, which I'm saying it has, then I don't think Kemo Bojang should pay that money.
Good.
Now, in terms of the lapse, it should go through the right administrative processes to determine whether it is an illegality or a violation.
Right. So now the issue regarding the goalposts, you've played there and you've scored a goal.
Yes.
Who made those goalposts?
I don't know.
You don't know. You had an institution, and $100 and something thousand has been paid from taxpayers' money to be supposedly to procure goalposts. Number one, it did not pass through the proper channel, procurement process. Number two, it was paid to an individual that it was not supposed to be paid to, because he is not part, he's neither the supplier, nor part of the contracts committee to even take part in of its account.
Council,
Right?
say it again, sir.
Should know of every withdrawal of its accounts. Right? And so you being the head, it's also your responsibility. Right?
No.
So you do not know, you don't have responsibility to monitor accounts.
I think the law clearly distinguishes between the council and the mayor.
Do you have a responsibility to know your accounts or not?
To know the accounts that exist in council?
They know the accounts, the detail of the accounts. Do you have the responsibility to be familiar and acquaint yourself with the financial details of council?
Yes, I should familiarize myself with the accounts.
That's it. That's all I'm interested in. And the other voucher we have here as well is PV 4076, another Kemo Bojan voucher. $153,150 is being paid. Do you know in procurement, when you procure items or goods, there should be delivery notes, evidence of delivery?
Can you refer me to those procurement?
No, that is a question. Whether you know, whether it's a question, whether you know that when there is delivery of goods or items procured, that the council should have evidence of delivery. It's a direct question and a simple one.
Meaning delivery note?
Yes.
I would have to refer to those rules, but I am aware of delivery notes.
What rules are you referring to?
You asked if I am aware that there are rules about deliveries.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's not my question.
Can you ask again, sir?
Do you know that if there is procurement activity carried out by council, that there should be evidence of delivery of the goods that are procured?
Generally speaking, yes.
Not generally speaking. That's not a generally speaking. How would you know you paid $200,000 to procure, let's say, furniture, and you would not have a delivery note or have evidence of delivery?
That's why I said generally speaking. However, if you want to pinpoint me to a specific policy or procedure, we can look at that.
So you don't know. Just tell me I don't know so that I can guide you.
Generally speaking, common sense, yes.
No, common sense is not what the law is. The law is specific and direct.
That's why I'm asking, can you refer me to that section?
No, at my own time, Mr. Bensouda.
Okay.
So now you know about examination and receipt committees?
Say it again?
Examination and receipt committees.
And the Local Government Act?
No, in the Gambia Public Procurement Act. There is what we call examination and receipt committee, so that when the council procures something, there will be a committee to examine that what you have procured is what was delivered in the manner in which you have agreed. So there will be value for money also as well. Are you familiar with this?
I believe I've heard somebody talk about it, but no.
Are you familiar with this is the question?
I said no. I've
Why?
heard it being talked about.
Why
But we have never discussed it, no.
Why is it difficult to just say no?
Because it's not black and white.
No. You see, when the millions of councils are managed by the general council, which is the case, correct?
Millions of?
The funds of council, the finance of council are managed primarily by the general council, correct?
Hold on, let me use. So I think the separation of powers is that the council budgets. The CEO manages that budget.
You are responsible for the finances of council. Do you agree? Council is responsible for the finances of council.
The council, you ask whether council is responsible for the management of the resources. That's why I wanted to create a distinction.
I do not think
we are responsible, but we are not managing the resources.
Okay. I do not think I used the word management.
Okay, I think that's what I have.
Right, but it is the responsibility of council, even if you use the word manage, it's the responsibility of council to even manage overall management of the finances of council. The overall management lies with the general council. Is that a factual statement or a false statement?
The general management.
No, overall management.
The overall management, that's why I don't know whether we are...
The CEO is answerable to council.
But manages the council finances.
At a day-to-day basis. Then reports to a higher body. Correct?
Yes.
In the functions of the CEO.
In the management of those resources.
Yes, in the management of those resources. Yeah. So reports to a higher body that it is answerable to. Correct?
Yes.
In the execution of his or her functions, correct?
Yes.
So that makes council the overall, having the overall responsibility for the managing the affairs of the finances. Is that a correct statement?
The overall?
Yes.
I guess so.
Exactly. Now, that voucher, I think I gave you a voucher, right? The second voucher we have.
Give me a voucher.
Right. What is the payment for?
This is a payment for the cost of rehabilitation of a football field goal post, a net of 3 wards in the municipality. Amount is 153,000 to Kemo Bojan. And the memo is Youth Councillor to the Lord Mayor. And it goes, Sir, I wish to write to request for your support in the rehabilitation of a goal post and purchase of post nets for Bakau, Latrikunda, German, and Ibo Town.
In line with regulation?
In line with my previous answer is a lapse.
A lapse. Good. May I please have that? Now, again, this in fact is handwritten. The bill of quantity is handwritten. We have George Thea, we have a signature, and we don't know whether there's no letterhead, no business name. You agree with me on those?
Based on the
yes.
documentation.
Yes. And so another important thing I want to discuss before we conclude on Kemo Bojan's issue is that suppliers are required to register with GPPA. Do you know this?
Yes.
Do you know whether Georgia is a supplier that registered with GPPA?
I don't have that information.
Okay. If Georgia did not register with GPPA, would that not be incorrect?
Now, I have to refer to the GPPA rules
right.
To abreast myself with the issue exactly.
Right.
But generally, I believe procurement should involve GPPA for companies.
You're not sure or you're sure? If you're sure,
I have to verify. I can go back and come back.
So, okay, no problem. We can note that down,
yes.
that you will come back with that information. But I can tell you, sitting here, GPA also testified as well. The law is here. You can acquaint yourself with it later. That it's a requirement that there should be pre-registration and qualification of bidders. And so that is something that is basic for every economic operator. Economic operators are the councils or any institution that is engaged in public procurement. So if Georgia did not register, the law is, that would not be correct. Let me read to you the Gambia Public Procurement Act 2022 on page 39, 32.2, eligibility and qualifications of economic operators. Notwithstanding Section 31, and unless otherwise specified in the solicitation documents, participation in the invitation to bid and in award of contracts shall be open on unequal terms. Natural persons, companies or firms, associations or public or semi-public agencies, cooperative societies and other legal entities governed by public or private law, and C, joint ventures, consortium or association of firms, and the provisional rates, who shall be registered with the authority in accordance with regulations. So, do you now see that it is a pre-requirement? It's a requirement.
Okay, I'll confirm that, as you said.
You're not satisfied? Like, do I give you the act?
You can give me the act, but...
But you still need to confirm still.
I would rather do my consultations.
Okay.
But I'm not doubting what you're saying.
That's okay. We'll give you time.
Yes.
Yeah.
He should be given time.
Yes, we'll give you time. All right. Please hold this. Now, may I have that exhibit?
There's nothing here.
Okay, you have all the. All right. So we move to other issues. The guy, you're done with Kemo Sisi. Karamo, sorry. Is it? Kemo Bojang. I have another set of vouchers here. But before I proceed on these vouchers, well, let me just proceed with the vouchers. These are the last set of vouchers for today. We have payments that were made by way of honorarium from KMC. Now, honorarium, is this captured in your budget?
I believe so.
Good.
I have to confirm. But
We have the 2018 budget, and there is honorarium there. Now, do you have a policy or a guideline in relation to honorariums and how they are to be paid?
Honorariums, I don't think so, no.
You don't think so? So, if there are no guidelines and procedures, then how would they be authorized for, like, the payments of honorariums?
Can you refer me to a specific honorarium?
Yes.
Because they might be different.
Okay. We have this voucher here. It is voucher number PV180818. The exhibit is LGC/KC/KMC/003. It has to do with the honorariums, and there is a general council resolution, I believe. That voucher as well is, okay, go ahead.
Okay, you want me to read the voucher? Okay, it says the payee is sundry person paid from EcoBank, being payment for honorarium to councillors, exercise as general council resolution attached. The budget is charged to the mayor's office honorarium. That's the budget, so I presume there's a budget. It says budget for market research by councillors. Commencement date 2nd July 2018. End date 25th July, but then corrected to 27th July 2018. The items noted there are breakfast, lunch, and transport refund. And there was a remark, the work was done by 26 councillors for this period of 25 days, and it was successfully carried out.
Were you aware of these payments to the councillors?
I've heard it discussed at the commission and I remember the exercise.
Okay. What was exercise?
I think the exercise was about maximization of revenue and looking at the maintenance gaps at the various markets.
Right. Was this exercise carried out?
It was.
How many days?
I believe for the duration. Because I myself, I partaked in the, I don't know how to say it. I was a member of one of the people doing the exercise.
You were a member of?
I was one of the people doing the exercise.
Okay. You took part in this exercise?
I took part in the exercise.
For how many days?
It was one of our first, for the entire duration, it was one of our first council exercises.
Right.
My role was to look at the setting up of market committees,
Right.
was to look at the maintenance gaps at markets,
Right.
because it was one of the critical points of our campaign.
Right.
Politics is very centered around markets.
True.
KMC has 19 markets and all of them were in disrepair. This was a very useful exercise at the time.
Okay. Now, the head of the, I think, finance committee, Mr. Is it Karamu?
Yeah. Yes.
Is said to have led this exercise. Now, there's a report attached to it, right?
Yeah. Councillor Karamu Sise.
Yes. Now, he explained that the assignment it had a structure. Can you recall the structure?
I cannot recall the details of this. It was, I think, recommended. I remember the Council of Latrikunda Sabiji,
Right.
but I think the disbursement was made by the Finance Committee Chair, which is Karamu Sise.
Okay. And he explained to the commission that there were division of groups to visit different markets. Was that how it occurred?
I don't remember the modalities exactly. It was a long time ago, but it was the first initiative of the council.
Right.
What I remember was the reports from the different councillors. I remember particularly the councillor of Bakau, Lamin Diba,
Right.
who reported that when the collectors were going alone, they were reporting half the revenue than when he joined them. That comment I remember very clearly.
Okay. So, but you could not remember the structure.
No.
You don't know whether they were into groups or it was a single, just one group.
No, it was they organized themselves.
Okay. If you were given time, would you be able to recall your thoughts as to how it was structured?
I can, because there's been a lot of discussion about it, to be frank. We've been discussing how it was a long time ago.
Right.
What I remember was I generated 2 initiatives from that.
Right.
I raised the issue
Right.
about the suppression of revenue at the markets,
Yes.
because markets are uncontrolled and unstructured and informal.
Yes.
And that's where the suggestion came that for us to address that issue ourselves with how much revenue is being suppressed in the market, we will go and monitor these markets. But my role specifically was to look at the maintenance issues and the governance issues. From there, I believe we changed the Serakunda Market Committee and we instituted market committees in Talinding, Yafa, Injai, Latrikunda, Savage and other markets.
Okay. So that was why I'm now asking if there are various groups. So before you have a master report, you would have had group reports, because then Karamu would not be present in all these. I've asked him these questions and he admitted he would not be present in all these groups.
I think Karamu would be the best to answer. He structured it.
It's because payment was made when there is doubt, or let me not say doubt, when there is no evidence on the face of the document that this exercise was conducted, right? So that we will ask these questions. So that there is no evidence that these subgroups have mini reports, you can call them, or reports that are now used to compile and have the master report, correct?
Right. So I would agree with Karamu that if he admits that it should have been better structured, he was in charge of that, then yes, he should have better structured it. And if there is anybody who says that they did not partake in it, then I think they should not receive the monies.
Yes. And do you not think individually, even in the with regard, not even considering Karamo's position, Do you not think where you have subgroups, where you have a masterpiece, you must have known each group's activity and what they have found so that you can make your report?
I guess these modalities are determinant of who created it. So, like I said, it's best for Karamo to respond.
Yes, but Karamo is now being supervised. Karamo is now being checked. Karamo now has to be checked by, because his powers are not absolute. Karamo does not operate in vacuum. So that when the Karamo does something that is inadequate or seemingly inadequate by the supervisory body, there is no problem raising questions or asking questions, correct?
Yeah, so I think the finance committee should structure that.
Yes.
The administration should ensure there is proper procedure.
Should the General Council be interested in the modalities? Because they approved it.
As a body, yes.
Yes, did they do that?
I think the General Council was satisfied with the exercise.
Is there any evidence of that?
Yes, I think there was a satisfaction
of
my
review.
memory, but I don't know whether there's physical evidence. But my memory and my testimony today is there was a general satisfaction there, and there was, like I said, reports back when I was chairing that session that there was notice, especially in the Bakau market, of a suppression of revenue.
Yes.
And this motivated us. One thing I tried to initiate, because markets are sprawling. Markets have large portions that are tabled by women, and kiosks. I remember we had a big kiosk problem. We were saying, how about we now serialize these kiosks? Because market revenue is very hard to detect.
Yes.
And we always suspected it's the highest suppression of revenue.
Yes.
It's been a very elusive and difficult thing to track.
Right.
So that's why we were thinking that market revenue may be the biggest revenue in the council, but we must be able to map the council. But I can tell you categorically clear from my memory, we were very satisfied and very proud that we were able to notice that there are big lapses in the markets.
Okay, so for me, it's not the idea that there is a certain degree of genuineness in doing that exercise. Now the question is centered around whether the exercise is in fact occurred. So my role here is to test the evidence of the witnesses in relation to making sure whether this exercise really occurred. And so that the evidence that I've been given, I have to test it with and try to see the veracity of that, of those statements. So that we talked about the report, and the beneficiaries of these payments were the councillors. So that it is just common general. It suggests that it was just one group. Day 3, members went around to inspect the sanitization aspect in the market. The 5, 6, and 7 members visited Latukuda, Sabidi, Fajikunda, and Abuko markets and virtually saw the same problems. Ticket duplicates were traced and inconsistent payments on the license. The 8 members directed their exercise to Kalindin Central, Kalindin Jilifiti, Bundung Market Bohol, and last, the Bundung Market. Now, did you have time to scrutinize this report as head of council?
I cannot remember. It's a long time ago. And can I ask what date is on
the report? Okay, that's another interesting question. I do not see a date on the report. From what I see, there is no date. But let me just hand it to you again so that you may. On the report itself, no, there is no date on it.
The voucher is on August, I believe, August 9th.
Yes, but the
request is August 2nd.
Do you have a date for the report?
Yes, there's no, that's why I wanted to ask, there's no date on the report. What I was, okay, there's an agenda here. So this was, I believe, 2 months into office. So I'm thinking maybe I should check if the relevant committees that should have exercised oversight on this were set up or not. I would like to verify that as well.
Very well, no problem. But it's confirmed that there's no date on the
There's no date. I don't see a date.
Okay.
I believe it's a convenient point, but before we conclude and rise, please let's admit, please check the document that was given to you by the witness, and if you so wish to submit it for admission, you may do so.
Yes, but we'll admit it, and then we have, let me just conclude on this and have it admitted if the chair permits, and then we'll have 2 or 1 topic to conclude, so that if we are permitted, we can conclude that and then rise if it is permitted.
You have 2 more issues.
1 or 2 issues to deal with for today. If the chair permits, then we can conclude on that. But let me just round up this document and have this.
Please round up that document, right, and let's have the document admitted.
Now, the signatures as well that you see that indicate that this is different from what you are to check. The signature that is attached to the payment vouchers and the documents therein. Please have a look at them.
You mean the signature of the register?
Yes, for those who attended this. Mr. Karamo accepted that all of these people signed the same day. If I can have...
Sorry?
Said Mr. Karamo accepted, if to the best of my recollection, that all these people signed the same day. So you have so many days of exercise.
They signed the same day.
They and collected their money.
Verify that they attended all these days.
Yes.
Okay.
If that is the case, would that be correct?
I think they should sign as they come in.
Yes.
I think that should be the common sense thing to do.
All right.
But then...
That's fine. I will leave it at that with respect to the voucher. But just to be fair on you as well, there's also another voucher that bears your name for this exercise of $10,000. The voucher number is PV1808339. It was raised by the chairman, finance committee, and the acting chief executive officer on the 17th of August 2018. That will make the total honorarium paid to be $270,000.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. You confirm that, receiving that amount?
Yes.
May I please have it? Now, the last question on this is, would you be able to guide us when you furnish us with extra information with respect to these payments, the revenue head, the budget head that was in the budget as to where the justification of this payment from?
Which one?
This honorarium. We need to have the justification for the payment of this honorarium.
You mean the total honorarium?
Yes, yes. The idea that in fact honorarium was paid to the councillors of this amount. We need to see the what was council's justification in expending the finances of council through honorariums.
I believe in your attached document there's a resolution.
Right.
Right.
But the expenditure of council must be in line with budgetary approval.
So in the voucher, I've seen it charged to a budget line called Honorarium.
Right. So
like I said, I presume if it's charged, there must be a budget line.
Okay. So we will want you to guide us through that budget line as to justifying this payment, because it was sanctioned by the council itself.
Whether it was sanctioned?
It was sanctioned. We see the resolution signed by your deputy. You yourself said you attended. So we want to know the justification in the budget. It has been referenced, so that you as the head of council will be able to guide us with respect to these particular payments that it has been budgeted for. This is the column, and then we are in line. The amount is within the budgetary amount.
I can find the information, but like you've said, the deputy mayor chaired that specific council meeting. I was aware of the exercise. I participated in the exercise. Why I was not in that meeting, I cannot even recall. But I will find out the facts.
Yes. I would have asked the deputy mayor. And then if you were not a beneficiary of the honorarium, I would have asked the deputy mayor. But then I would take it that you ratified the actions of the deputy mayor when there is a resolution that sanctioned the payments of these honorariums.
Say it again.
I said I would take it. Would it not be correct that you have ratified the actions of the General Council by virtue of you participating and receiving the honorarium?
I think it's a good exercise. Yes, I participated.
Yes.
Like I said, you asked for the exact justifications, etc.
Right.
I said I have told you what I recollect.
Right.
But in the factual nature you wanted,
right.
That's why I said I will also have to ask the deputy mayor, because he chaired that specific.
Okay, you will ask him. Okay. Now we have the documents here that the witness submitted for it to be tendered. The first is a letter from Sengo Law Practice. The date is 27th of August 2025. It is list of cases handled on behalf of Carnifing Municipal Council. We have a list provided, Carnifing Municipal Council cases 1 to 27. A High Court suit number HC /894/23/CO/172D2. Civil suit number HC 673-19-CO-191D2. Civil number HC 912-23-CO-184D2. High Court Civil Suit number HC 893-23-CO-171D2. Civil Suit number High Court 04020-CO-003D2. High Court Suit number 687-19-CO-197D2. Civil Suit number HC 910-23-CO-182D2. Civil suit number HC 890-23-CO-169D2. Civil suit number HC 891-23-CO-170D2. Civil suit number HC 902-23-CO-176D2. HC 672-19-CO-190D2. HC 67919 CO 195 D2, HC 147 CO 02202, miscellaneous application number HC 75523 MF 239 F1, civil suit number HC 91123 CO 183 D2, civil suit number HC 09420 C012 D2, civil suit number KMC CS-172 of 2017, HC 60820 CL153 BO, HC 02222 MF 004 A1, HC 003119 CO 002 and D2, HC 64019 CO 183 and D2, HC 64119 CO 184 D2, HC 67819 CO 194 D2, HC 58219 CO 176 D2, Supreme Court, the Gambia, suit number 001 of 2023. KMC, the Gambia Court of the Gambia, case number KMC/CS129 of 2021. High Court of the Gambia, civil suit number 67719 CO 193 D2. These documents to be admitted into evidence and marked as exhibits.
The witness presented the various judgments, rulings from the relevant courts. Senghor Law Practice presented a cover note for a list of cases that her chambers has conducted on behalf of Carnival Municipal Council, numbering 27. The cover note is dated the 27th of August 2025. It has reference 62/KMC/volume 3/09/SPL. And it has the subject, list of cases handled on behalf of Carnival Municipal Council. It is signed by Yasin Senghor, and a file copy is maintained. The High Court judgments are 21. There is one Brikama Magistrate Court judgment, 2 High Court rulings, 1 Carnifing Magistrate Court ruling, and 1 Supreme Court judgment. These documents are admitted together in a bundle as exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/KMC/TAB/005.
Pass the commission places. Just to, before I proceed, do we have the documents that the witness submitted yesterday? The exhibits. I just want to show you,
I indicated that this is going to be the last item for today. We will be rising. We have already admitted this, and we will proceed. Mr. Honorarium Mayor Bensouda, we will give you time to put together your documents, and we will see you on Tuesday. All right? Thank you. We will rise.
Thank you.